Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. I know it's been a while. I know. I had to take some time to focus on myself. I am still doing a master's as well, which is taking up a lot of time. But besides that, I had some health issues that I had to deal with and just, I don't know, life stuff to figure out for myself. But that's pretty much about it. That is why I was gone. I never intended to be gone for a long time. It just kind of happened this way. And I have been meaning to come back for a while, but it just never really felt right until now. So I have decided to have a more schedule-based approach to this channel because in the past I would just film and then pretty much immediately post, like almost immediately, because I would always be so excited to just, share what came out with you. So I will be managing my excitement a little bit better this time around, so hopefully the channel will be more consistently active. But yes, that's pretty much it, and personal readings will be open again, but not on Etsy. I will, I think, have them open through Google Forms and PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, then and you want to book a reading with me, I will figure out a website situation. Not just yet, because I still have quite a bit of research stuff to do for my master's and don't really have time to make the website because I would want it to be really pretty and, I want to do a good job. So if you would like to book a reading with me now, you can click the link in the description box below. Not the Etsy one, but the Google Forms one, and then you can find all the information you need on how to book a reading with me and all of that. But anyway, I will leave you now to focus on which deck calls to you the most. We have 5 piles today, which is a very rare occurrence on this channel. Maybe the first time, I don't know, but we have piles 1 till 5. And that is it. So I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile ones, and welcome. It's been a while since I've said that. It feels a little bit strange, but also not strange at all. But I'm not going to talk about that now. I will give a little update in the introduction about why I've been gone. But anyway, let's just get into your reading. We'll be looking at what the person on your mind has realized. We'll start with some oracle cards and then we'll clarify with tarot, channeled messages, as well as some advice. So the first card we have is number 29, Dangerous Depths. We have the Box. We have the Sustainer. We have Ghost. We have number 24, Control. And we have number 19, Law of Love. I feel like this connection isn't what it used to be, in the sense that it feels, I'm seeing a match, like a match that is being lit and then it just burns out very quickly. Not to say that the feelings or the attraction here burned out, but it feels like the circumstances maybe placed some constraints on the situation. This could have been a situation where you didn't live in the same place, or there were some rules that stopped you from taking this connection off the ground. For some of you, it might be that one or both of you was already in a relationship or some kind of commitment. This could also be a work commitment or just some kind of responsibility that could not be compromised for any reason, or maybe could not be compromised due to this person's thoughts or their belief system, because it feels like although they really wanted this connection to work, they had these mental concepts, these beliefs that really put the two of you in a cage, or really allowed the two of you to be together in specific circumstances that practically could not be achieved, also because of the way that they were thinking. It feels like their own mind kind of placed a lot of boundaries between the two of you, or not boundaries, but obstacles. I take the boundaries thing back because I actually feel like you were the one to try and place more boundaries in this situation for yourself to protect your heart, maybe. And this could have been on a subconscious level. This person could have also done the same, but it almost feels like they were in a really mismatched energy. They were in a really conflicting energy with their own self, where maybe they showed you a lot of affection, a lot of love, but then they just ran off when things became a little bit more serious. But I feel that they thrived on the intensity, kind of the danger of falling. It might be that this person doesn't fall very easily. And there's almost an energy of them being hooked on yours, being hooked on you, being hooked on your energy. It's interesting because it feels like they felt very safe around you. They still might if you are in contact. But I would say for most of you, I'm getting more of a either no contact situation, or there was a breakup, or you don't talk as much as you used to, or you've decided to just be friends. I'm definitely getting a more romantic energy from this because it feels very intimate. It feels very tempting. It feels very powerful. It feels like there is or was a magnetic attraction. And if you haven't been in contact with this person, you might think about them a lot. They might think about you a lot. I think they definitely think of you a lot, but they may not really accept it. Oh. People are singing Love Tonight outside, so maybe that is a significant song. I think it was very popular, like, in September 2021, so that could be a significant time, or September could be significant. Doesn't have to be though, but just as a side note. I'm just gonna let them pass because it's kind of distracting me. But essentially, what this person has realized more so seems to be that there is a sense of loss. There is sadness here. They may have a hard time accepting this sadness. They may perceive themselves to be really mature, like really just fine with anything. But I think this is someone who may have some fears around attachment. They might attach very strongly, but very rarely. And it feels like they found something in you that they didn't really expect that they would find at this point in their life. Maybe because they're very young, maybe you're both very young, or maybe this person thought they already had like a big love, or like had it as good as they could have had it already sometime in the past. But after meeting you, they realize that's not true. There's something very special, very unique about this connection to them, and maybe to you as well. But their feelings run very deep. It's just a matter of these constraints they've placed, and I don't know why exactly. Again, it could be a third-party situation, it could be jobs, it could be studying, it could be traveling, it could be anything really that created obstacles between the two of you that ideally shouldn't have been there. That this person, they seem to almost perceive it in a poetic way, where they may have the mindset that I would do it all over again, and I would go through the regret of losing this person all over again, which may sound strange, but it's almost an energy of welcoming some kind of pain, like welcoming some kind of heartbreak, because maybe it takes a lot for this person to feel anything at all. They may struggle with anxiety or depression. They may feel disconnected from life and their own feelings at times. But it feels like you made them feel a lot in a time where they didn't expect to feel a lot. I think they go in circles quite a bit about you and this connection. I'm seeing these loops going around, like almost like a labyrinth, but it's just a lot of loops on top of each other. And it feels like there's no way out. It's almost like this person is trying to put this connection in a box and lock it, but they still think about what's locked in the box all the time. So like putting it away doesn't really work. They still think about it. They put it on a shelf, but they're always thinking about, oh, I put that on the shelf, but this is what's in it. So it feels like they can't really shake this connection off in any way. They might, if you live in the same place, they might have seen you in public, or they might see reminders of you a lot. They may hear songs about you, songs that remind them of you, or see your name, things like that, because it feels like they're still very much tied to you in some way. And they seem sad about it, frustrated, but at the same time, kind of glad. They may have been very confusing to get close to as well for you. Their mind seems to work in like mysterious ways. They may have been very hot and cold as well. They may have made you really upset. They may have hurt you a lot. And I think this experience in some way has hurt them as well, but they may not have realized it at the time, or they may not have understood because they don't tend to feel this much for other people, or they don't really tend to get this attached so much. This person definitely has a soft spot for you. I think they still do, regardless of what may have happened between the two of you. There is an energy of wanting you to be happy. And also, for some of you, a knowing that it can't be with them right now in these current circumstances that they have placed themselves in. They might be coming to realize that it was a little bit their own doing. At first, they may have thought, okay, we both played a part in this not working out, but they might be coming to realize more so that it was the circumstances that they put themselves in, that they refused to get out of for whatever reason it might be. For some of you, this person may have been very comfortable in their comfort zone before you came around, and as comfortable as they felt around you, I think, again, there was some kind of risk or danger associated with this connection, which probably tempted them even more, but also may have scared them on some level. I think I want to get some tarot now. I'm getting Virgo, Aquarius, and Leo energy. These could be significant. They don't have to be, though. And I also just saw the High Priestess and the Chariot, so Cancer energy could also be significant. I have not been reading tarot, but I've been practicing shuffling because it comforts me. So, oh, well, I jinxed it. Okay, I really jinxed it. I'm not going to mention this again. I'm just going to give it one more shuffle. Okay, much better. I'm much happier with that one. So let's see. What has this person realized, please? We have the Emperor in reverse. They thought they had it under control, but they didn't. It feels like they may have made some kind of mistake in their approach to this situation. They may have gotten too close to you when they didn't have the space for it, or they weren't ready for this kind of intensity. They may have disappointed you as well, and I think they recognize that. And I think it hurts them to some like either hurts them or they're disappointed in themselves as well because they disappointed you. They know you have a good heart. They know you have a big heart. That's coming through very strongly. We have the High Priest. No, this is the Temperance card. Oh, so this was a card I saw. So we didn't have just Cancer. We had Sagittarius energy as well. I thought it was the High Priestess. Haven't read tarot in a while, as you can see. We have the Eight of Swords coming out as well. My left ear is ringing, in case that means anything to anyone. We have the Page of Pentacles, the King of Swords. We have Aries energy with the Emperor as well. We have the Queen of Pentacles coming out. We have Leo, and we have the Two of Wands. It feels like they wanted the best of both worlds, and the meaning of that might change depending on the kind of situation you are or were in, but it's almost like they couldn't make a decision and then the circumstances forced them into one path over the other because they wouldn't be able to pursue both paths. So again, this brings me back to this idea of these obstacles that may have been between the two of you, and they may have chosen to divert from this path and just follow the other one instead because they can't be in two places at once. At least not in a practical sense. So that's kind of what it feels like, that they've realized their own responsibility in this situation, but at the same time, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, definitely some kind of separation, or someone got hurt here. It feels like the aftermath of a situation rather than being in the middle of it. But for some of you, it might be that you're currently seeing this person, or you're with this person and things are not going very well, or someone's trying to make a decision here, but they feel stuck because it's just not possible to get the best of both worlds. At least not in this situation. We have the High Priestess in reverse as the bottom deck energy. So there is kind of a lingering third-party situation energy here, but it doesn't have to be the case, because it feels like if that is the case, it would have been very much out in the open. Then that would have been the main issue in this situation not working out, rather than it being like you don't get along or something of that sort, because there is a very intense connection here, very understanding of each other as well, very mesmerized, very intrigued, sometimes very confused, but very deeply connected. You seem to have had a very nurturing energy towards this person, very safe, very comforting. They may have lost their mother or a mother figure at a very young age for some of you. I do feel that they realize with the way they kind of went into this situation, their mindset, it feels like They knew it was too intense to be sustained. They wanted to sustain it, but it feels like they knew it would burn out if they went in with this much intensity. But then again, it's almost like they wouldn't have had it any other way. There is a lot of appreciation for this connection, even if you feel that they didn't show you any appreciation. This person appreciates you a lot, but they may have been really bad at showing that, or you may have not believed them, because it feels like they were maybe very honest with you about their feelings, but because of the circumstances, they almost didn't feel right. Or for some of you, you just may not have believed them, or you may have wanted to not believe them. They may come off as someone confident, but this person deals with a lot of insecurities and being enough, being sufficient. Like they're always a prisoner in their own mind. And they can fall into very dark patterns or habits very easily. And you may have kind of given them comfort around that they can get out of their mind. There's something very comforting and reassuring about your energy towards this person, and their heart seems to have fully opened up to you. But it was too much to be sustained in the end. They definitely recognize your value. I'm not going to say they realize, because I think they already knew at the time. But they seem to have also known that they couldn't have you around forever, that they couldn't always be around you forever. And it just feels so sad that it wasn't working out. I almost feel like crying. Like my throat feels really... They want you to know that they were honest with their feelings towards you. None of it was a lie. It wasn't games or anything of that sort, even if it appeared to be like that. They really wanted this to work, but they seem to have invested either their time or resources or something someplace else, and they couldn't let go of that. And you don't need to it's almost like they didn't want to drag you into this situation, but they also felt such a strong connection to you that they thought, okay, I will just do this for as long as I can because I really want to be around this person. I really want to be around pile number one. They mean a lot to me and I care for them. But these are the cards I have dealt myself. And I have to stick with them too. I can't just drop everything and leave because it feels that they weren't really ready. Maybe for some of you, this will change. Maybe this isn't necessarily the end result for this connection. I don't remember anymore why I pulled this out, but it stuck out to me in the deck. We have the star in reverse, so Aquarius energy. This person really didn't want to hurt you, but a part of them maybe subconsciously knew that when you play with this much fire, you're bound to get burned. I cut the deck in half and we have the Hierophant in reverse. It almost feels like they didn't do the responsible thing towards you, but maybe they did the responsible thing for their own self. Or maybe they did the responsible thing towards you, but they didn't do right by someone else or something else. It feels like there was either always a choice to be made or a deadlocked situation. I also just saw the Magician in reverse. It really is an energy of this person realizing that they did all they could, even if this isn't necessarily the full realization that needs to happen, because for some of you, they might not be at a point where they realize, oh, maybe I placed these boundaries myself. Maybe not boundaries, obstacles, but maybe also boundaries because of the obstacles. But I think they're coming to see the full picture. They regret having lost you, but they don't regret starting this connection even though they knew it wouldn't last. I think they're trying to find beauty in the pain as well. They might even romanticize the pain a little bit. If I'm being honest, it's kind of that kind of energy. I'm hearing I'm sorry repeatedly, and it's going really fast. Like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I don't think they ever actually intended to hurt you. Maybe they thought even that they would get hurt and then you wouldn't. It might be that they haven't really felt as loved by, or even as liked by other people as much as they did with you. Even if that's not necessarily the case, and even if they're loved by a lot of people, I think no one did it for them quite like you. Let me check if it's still, yes, we're all good. So, let's get some channeled messages. I think they have a lot on their mind, a lot of heaviness on their chest. We have, I miss you so much. I don't know what your intentions are. I heard, I don't know if you'd ever see me again. I'm worried about the future. I need support. I think once this very nurturing energy was removed from their life, they realized that their comfort zone may not be as comfortable for them anymore. I was stupid. I'm realizing that now. I need more time. I'm sorry you had to see that side of me. I'm really confused. I feel like, oh, you don't get me. And I think the reason this is coming out is that they may have told you how they felt about you. This also flew out. I don't feel worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm just going to collect all the cards I just dropped. But this for me is an energy of them kind of being really vulnerable and open with you, and maybe a part of you didn't fully believe what they were saying because of how they may have acted. Like there may have been some inconsistency in the way they acted or in the way they spoke. It just feels like there may have been things that you found a little bit hard to believe, but they really wanted you to believe them because they were being honest. You might see them as like a bad person or just someone you don't really like anymore for some of you. And if that's the case, I feel that this person is aware of that, but they don't really want to deal with that, because I think their opinion really matters to them. And their confidence as well. It may have dropped after this connection, or after, if you had an argument or some kind of disagreement, separation. Is there anything else that wants to come through? I haven't done this in a while. I forgot how loud it was. I'm sorry. Is there anything else that wants to come through? Okay, we have one. I'm just going to take that one. So let's see what it is. I had to hide the truth. I'm sorry. Now, this is interesting. I want to clarify that I don't think this is a message for everyone. I will start by saying that. I don't want you to get worried or scared. I don't think this person has just played with you at all. Maybe at the very beginning, they didn't tell you exactly what was going on with them, or that they knew there would be limitations. I don't think this relates to their feelings for you. But if they have lied to you or deceived you in any way and you already know about it, maybe that is what it relates to. We have the Queen of Swords and we have the Star. So interesting, because we also have the King of Swords. This person recognizes that you are very intelligent and you might see through them. And maybe some things only came out for some of you because you pointed them out, or because you kind of had a gut feeling about it. Because the stars, they illuminate the night. So it's kind of giving me an energy of they maybe told you certain things a little too late, or like when they waited for the time to be right, or they waited for specific circumstances. It feels like something like that, rather than them like playing with you or anything. But of course, you know your situation better. But if you think this person has been honest with you, don't take this as a sign to just scrap that thought and think they've been lying to you, because I really don't think that's the case. I cut the deck and I saw the Ten of Wands, so I think this person, it definitely feels like a case of things starting off very intense, everything kind of like clicking into place perfectly, except for the circumstances outside the two of you. It feels like it was perfect when you were together, but then once you add other factors, it kind of got too much, too confusing, and it just may have burnt down a little bit. But that doesn't mean this person didn't care about you, and it doesn't mean this connection didn't have meaning, because I think it means a lot to the both of you. And if you are blaming yourself for either putting yourself in this situation, maybe you also knew it would kind of fizzle out or just hurt in the end. If you're blaming yourself for putting yourself in this situation, or staying in this situation, or not leaving it sooner, or believing this person, or whatever it might be, or even if you're blaming yourself for caring about this person or this connection, I think it's time to forgive yourself about that, because you have no reason to be upset with yourself. It feels like, although this experience may have been very painful, it also seems to have added something to you that some of you may not even recognize yet. But I'm hearing you need to let yourself just kind of have gratitude for, that's not a good way of putting it, but it feels like kind of coming to terms with just having loved someone that maybe didn't end up giving you everything you deserve. Maybe you're mad at them, and you have absolutely every right to be. But for some of you, I'm just getting this energy that you might judge yourself for the feelings that you have now or the feelings that you had in the past. So stop doing that. That's not helping anything. You need to allow yourself to have peace around whatever happened, and this doesn't mean that for every single one of you it needs to be the end. That really doesn't have to be the case. I didn't even realize this was the card that flipped, and I was holding it, but it says bring love into the situation. And more than anything, this for me refers to the way you talk to yourself. It may not have worked out so far, or yet, or it just may not have worked out, but that doesn't mean that it's meaningless, or you have to dislike this person or be mad at them forever for what happened. You can be, but I think for some of you it might take away from your peace rather than make you feel happy and comfortable and confident. Don't let pride get in your way. Yeah. Pride for me, like, this card has the energy of not allowing your ego to take over and just put you in a state of always being bitter, always being angry. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to feel these things. You should absolutely feel anything that comes to you. Even if it doesn't make sense, you can just feel them and watch them go, because if you allow yourself to feel your situations rather than just I meant if you allow yourself to feel your feelings rather than just hold on to them and not let them like pass through you, you'll see that you might feel a lot lighter because you're not holding on to so much, you're not carrying so much all the time. The answers you need are coming. For some of you, this person might contact you. I think you may have changed a lot, either in appearance or in your approach to things since this situation happened. I got the deck and we have a new romantic cycle begins. As a side note, it might be that you get a chance to, for some of you, you might get the closure that you never may have gotten, or you may get some kind of confession almost. And I promise you this actually happens. Like, even if it's been 2 years, I can tell you this out of my own experience. The universe finds a way. If you need it, or sometimes the other person needs it. I can confirm this for you from my own experience that it does happen. And I know it might be a little bit tiring to like watch tarot readings and they're like, they will contact you, but they haven't yet. Not for every single one of you, of course. Only if it resonates with you, only if you feel in your intuition that it's right. Don't doubt your intuition. Because these things happen, as wild as they may seem. I bumped into an ex that I hadn't seen or spoken to in years in a city that he doesn't live in. When he was visiting for 1 day and we saw each other on the street. So these things happen, I promise you. If you need closure, or if you feel that things are unfinished and that you need to see this person to kind of settle things or continue things, whatever it may be, you can have it. But this also doesn't mean that you should like try to manifest this person just to fight with them or something, you know? We have joy. To enjoy something, I simply need to add joy to it. Joy is like butter. I can put it on anything and it will make it way better. Today, I will add joy to everything. Really slather it on. Today, why can't I? Today, this is apparently a popcorn brand from the US. I was told, I don't know about it, but yes. So I was very confused the first time I read this. I thought it was a comedian or something. But yes, and life's popcorn is about to get it. This for me relates back to kind of allowing yourself peace. And if you need to see this person again and give them a piece of your mind to have peace, then that's also okay. Really, no rules. Playfulness. I'm a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins puts sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. Your connection may have been very playful as well. And maybe for some of you, this message, because these two kind of have the same energy, it might be that it might make your heart feel lighter to see this connection for what it really was. Because it seems like it was fun and it was beautiful while it lasted. And I cut the deck in half and we have this card coming out, forgiveness. And I think this is, for most of you, forgiveness towards your own self, more so than this person. Could be both, but congratulations, you're being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Yes! Have fun wielding your new power. But remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. Exactly my point. Thank you, cards. All right. So the last thing I wanted to do is get you one of these impossible to shuffle cards. Okay, let's give this a go. Okay, that's too many. Okay, so this is what the image looks like. You may not be aware of it yet, but a tapestry full of positive outcomes and spiritual blessings now permeate, I don't know how to pronounce that, your aura. The gray clouds have lifted, replaced by soft radiant light. The past will soon be behind you. Let it go and embrace the positive times ahead. I think this really ties all of these messages really well together about giving yourself peace, because there is more to come. This is not the end of your story. This is just a chapter. And you can choose to read it over and over and over again and put burdens on yourself, or just kind of repeat the bad times, the bad parts over and over again, instead of just appreciating the good parts. And that doesn't mean, again, that you can't be upset about the bad parts or that you should just forget about them. But once you've processed things, once you've thought about them enough, once they're becoming too repetitive or just keeping you stuck, then it might be a sign that it's time to let those thoughts go. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile ones. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome. So we'll be looking at what the person on your mind has realized, and we'll be starting with these oracle cards, then we'll clarify with some tarot, channeled messages, and some advice. Before I reveal these cards to you, I have to let you know that the colors really match, and I promise you I didn't handpick these. I don't have time for that. I barely have time to film, as you can see, so I did not handpick these. But yes, this has a very clear energy, this pile. So we have number 35, easy progress. We have the temple. We have the poet. We have number 4, law of movement. We have number 38, allies. And we have confidence. Now, do you see what I mean with the colors? And this is kind of giving me the energy that this person has realized how well the two of you just match together. You may have very different personalities. I'm getting Aquarius, Libra, and Virgo placements. These don't have to be your placements or their placements, but that's the initial energy I'm getting. Also Cancer and Scorpio. But essentially what I'm getting from this is this person has realized that they met someone, or if you have known them for a while, that they have found someone, they have someone in their life that they would really like to hold on to. For some of you, this may not be romantic. I will be treating it as a romantic connection to make it a little bit easier for me to read and not have to go through every single like different context in which you may have met this person. But there is friendship beneath this before anything else, whether this is a work connection, just a partnership of any kind, or a romantic connection. This person seems to have a lot of confidence when it comes to making this situation work. They may not have revealed this to you if you just met them. I don't think they'd want to come on too strong, but there is a very like daydreaming or planning kind of energy to this situation. They have faith that no matter what the circumstances, because the two of you match so well together, that it could work. And this is really a big kind of shift from pile one's energy, where I felt that again the connection was very strong, but even though the connection was very strong, the circumstances were kind of just big obstacles. But it feels like in this case the obstacles aren't really that big of a deal. Even if they're really big, this person knows that you can overcome them. It may not be perfect, but they know that they have you on their team, and that hopefully you know you have them on your team. You could both be into the arts or something creative, or fashion is another thing that's coming through, or just you may have a lot of business ideas, or they may have a lot of business ideas. This is just two people who just have two minds that really click, that really connect really well, that really communicate really well. Two people who are just one of you might be a little bit more shy than the other, in the sense that if this is you, I think this person doesn't want to scare you off. But if you are a little bit shy, I think they also think that's really cute. Or it might be the other way around, where they are a little bit more shy, but when it comes to you, it feels like they feel really free around you in your energy. Very seen, very understood, very heard. Even if you just met them, even if you barely know this person. For some of you, this might literally be just two people who are crushing on each other, and maybe you haven't had like a full conversation even, but it feels like the attraction here would be so immediate, so instant, like an instant click. Maybe your styles really match, maybe your worldviews really match, but it feels like the two of you either come from very different backgrounds and have very similar views, or you come from very similar backgrounds but developed in very different ways. Whichever it might be, there is a lot of complementary energy here. I already want to get tarot. I think this is pretty straightforward. There isn't a lot of kind of issues to delve into, at least not yet, but let's see what the tarot has to say. This is essentially an energy of this person realizing that this could really work, that there is potential here. It could be that they're realizing that they really like you. One card keeps getting stuck at the bottom. Okay, that was a 10 of Pentacles. They might be realizing that they see a future here with you. Regardless of the nature of this connection. I'm hearing convention. It might be either that this connection is not very conventional, or you may have met at a convention of some kind for some of you. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Six of Swords in reverse. I'm hearing Grenade by Bruno Mars. I haven't heard it in years, so I'm pretty sure it's not just my mind like playing songs by itself, but it might have a meaning for someone. Doesn't have to, of course. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. Okay, that is way too many. Okay, we'll take them. I'm just trying to make a little bit more space because this deck is a little bit bigger than... Is it gonna fit if I do this? Yeah, okay. We have the Five of Wands in reverse, and we have Judgment. And I'm gonna put it here because I instinctively moved it here. I didn't necessarily want to, but it chose its place, so we're keeping it there. I'm hearing I'm writing solo, like Write in Solo by Jason Derulo. I don't know what it is with the music today. I haven't heard that one in a long time either, but the reason I think that is coming through is because this person may have been someone who doesn't really do relationships or who doesn't really do partnerships, kind of like lone wolf energy a little bit. That's what I'm getting. Like someone who's just, I'm getting a very philosophical energy from them. They could have studied culture, they could have studied philosophy, they could really be interested in these, regardless of what they studied, of course. But it's like they never really show people who they fully are, not because they're afraid, but more so because they don't want people to know them. They kind of like being a little bit mysterious, a little bit of an enigma, a little bit of I'll always have parts that no one really knows, no one's really touched, no one's really seen. But with you, you've made a big impression on this person, and they're realizing that maybe they could try things a different way. Maybe they don't always need to do things on their own. Maybe they can meet their match. There is a lot of luck in their perception of having met you. So maybe you met in a really funny way, or like you just met out of pure luck at the tax office or something. I don't know. I've recently had to deal with some tax stuff, so I guess that experience has made an impression on me. But you could have just had like a meet cute moment as well. Doesn't have to be though, or it could be that you met them a long time ago, but they recently saw you from a different light, because maybe you both changed a lot, or maybe you saw each other for the first time in a long time. We have the Page of Cups. This also flipped before, but it came out with too many other cards. We have the Three of Pentacles, bringing me back to this collaboration or like partnership, kind of good partnership energy. Bottom deck energy is the Ace of Cups, by the way, as a side note. This person sees a lot of potential for a lot of victory with you. They recognize your talents, they recognize your interests, they see your mind. They want to keep talking to you. What they're realizing essentially is that you really match. They really like you. That's the energy I'm getting. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of deep, dark history here. This feels pretty lighthearted to me. So if your connection is something a little bit older, something a little bit more intense in its history, then this may not be the pile for you. Or you may have more than one piles that have messages for you if you felt drawn to a couple. One thing I will say though is, one way I could interpret this is just, if this is an older connection with a lot of history, this person could have just opened a blank page, like turned to a blank new page. And they could be seeing things from a very different light. Because this feels like a fresh start. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of water under the bridge already. And we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, and I heard unwritten. The Seven of Swords is the card I associate with writing, like specifically just written things, among other themes, of course. But with it being in the reverse, it's like a clean slate, because I also interpret it as coming clean, but in this, it's like the Five of Wands combined with this energy. It's just a very allowing things in. I have space for this kind of energy. It's very accepting. It's very kind of arms wide open. I cut the deck and we have the Sun. This person has a lot of fun with you. They really enjoy spending time with you, and they realize that they would like to have a little bit more of this in their life. They would like to expand on this, because this is the Three of Wands. They might want to go on adventures with you. And the Hermit was on the other side. Where did you go? The Hermit in reverse. We have the Moon here as well. I would like to point out that we have the Sun and the Moon just coming out. So very yin-yang, again, like very complementary. And you might recognize parts of yourself in each other as well, like the yin and yang. But with the Hermit in reverse, brings me back to this person realizing they don't need to kind of just be single, or they don't need to invest in things alone. They don't need to be alone on their journey. I want to get you some channeled messages now. These are more, the messages are more, a little bit more for connections that maybe have some more history. So we'll see what comes out, because a lot of them like have past tense. But let's see. I just saw I have a hard time trusting people, and I was thinking of that exact message when I said this person may not open up to people very much, not because they're afraid, but because they just don't see the need to. You are my sunshine, and we had the sun. Ah, that's so cute. I almost feel like crying, but not because of like sadness, of course not, but because this is just very pure. I have a hard time, I'll just place this as well because it was already at the top, and we have healing. I think meeting you has been healing in some way for them already, or just eye-opening in some sense, like just old thoughts that they may have never had to think about. And once they thought about it, they realize maybe they're a little bit outdated and they don't really have a place in the person that they are right now, in the energy that they're embodying right now. We have, I'm not looking for anything serious right now. This more than anything, like again, is that riding solo energy and wanting to not just go way too fast. You're on my mind right now. You're on my mind all the time. We have, I watch your social media. If you have any kind of creative outlet and this person has seen what you've created, even if this is like, whether this is food or art or music or a blog, outfits, anything, they really admire it, I think. My energy is focused on something else. My energy is focused on myself. That's essentially the message I'm getting. Because I think this person really prioritizes their own self. And they might appear a little bit unavailable at times, but I think that's just because that's what they're used to. Is just prioritizing themselves and not really needing to pay attention to much else, really. So it might be kind of a transition period for them where they're realizing, oh wow, I really like this person. I want you by my side. Yes. That's what I was getting. Just because they might have a lot of confidence and a desire to move things forward, it may not mean that they are ready to do this right this second. And then we have, I really like you. Yes, they do. I've decided to scrap the little messages for this reading because in the first pile I shuffled for a long time, like it felt very long to me, and only one came out, so I'm just gonna skip that. I don't feel very drawn to it right now today, so we'll just ignore it for now. But let's get you some advice on how to deal with this situation, or maybe anything else that needs to come through for the time being. And now I have You Are My Sunshine stuck in my head. I guess better than Riding Solo by Jason Derulo, but now I have that stuck in my head. I'm gonna stop talking. Okay. Are you joking? I cut the deck in half and I saw this card and I thought, ah, that's the shy thing. Someone might be a little bit shy, even if they feel confident. Maybe they just don't take too much initiative in things like this. We have to be bold and make the first move. If you are into this person, and they are quite obviously into you, for some of you, you might be the one to kind of just initiate whatever it is that you might want to initiate with this, oh my god, person. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra, prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus, expect powerful change, new moon eclipse, and a new start is coming, new moon. Bottom deck energies, your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. What? There are so many new moons. It's like all of them. Not all of them, but many of them. I'm so excited for you. I'm shaking a little bit. I am so excited for you. Whatever this is, whether this is a business partnership, for some of you it might literally be like someone extending a contract, a business contract, a study contract. There's so much fun to be had. There's so much to experience in this. It's beautiful. That's what it is. And it's different from what you might be used to. It's gonna sweep you off your feet. That's essentially the imagery I'm getting, like someone just kind of getting blown away, but in a really good way, in the best way possible. And I promise you I'm not just saying this so people like my videos or anything. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know, or like other piles, you'll know that I will say, I'll tell you if I'm getting like a weird vibe, a weird energy, or just things seem off, or essentially my point is I'll tell you what I'm feeling, even if it's not a fun message to give. So yes. Don't take it personally. If someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yes, that's probably it. This brings me back to an energy of if this person for some of you has been like just acting a little bit distant or disconnected, it might be that they're literally just focused on something else. Like they may have something business related, study related, personal life related that they need to give energy to right now, or they just may not have time, really. We have courage. No one is fearless. No one. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. When fear shows up, I don't run away from it. I use my courage to conquer it. My courage allows me to walk right up to that fear and kick it in the nuts, then quickly hide behind someone bigger. So I realized my storage ran out of space, so it just stopped recording. So we'll just go through your advice once again. I think I was at courage when it stopped because I just checked. So let's just go through the advice once again. Courage. No one is fearless. No one. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. When fear shows up, I don't run away from it. I use my courage to conquer it. My courage allows me to walk right up to that fear and kick it in the nuts, then quickly hide behind someone bigger until it goes away. And we have, did this come? No, I think we also didn't have this one yet. And then this one came out next. We have clarity. Stopping to listen to my inner self, I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar. And the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. This, for me, is essentially an energy of to not overthink about this situation just because other things in your life may have not worked out. Other situations similar to this in nature may not have worked out, or may have been very damaging in the past. It doesn't mean that every other instance will be the same. It doesn't mean that every person will give you the same heavy or negative experience. I do feel that there is a very promising energy to this. Like, look at all these cards that came out. So for some of you, it might be that you just need a little nudge to take some kind of leap of faith, and this could be a sign, if that is something that you're looking for. But of course, only take the messages that resonate with you, as every situation is different and may have different little details, so you'll know best. And this was the heart card that came out. It is not a matter of containing your emotions. Rather, the opposite is required. You must express your emotions in order to heal them. Say what you feel, be gentle, be truthful, and do not blame anyone in the process, especially yourself. All emotions can be transformed by love. A conscious desire to do so is all it takes. It's okay to feel the way you do. This really is about, again, not holding on to any negativity that may relate to the past. This doesn't mean you should repress them. It means you should feel them. Let yourself feel them without judging yourself for feeling the way that you do. And forgiving yourself for whatever experiences you may have had in the past, if you feel responsible for putting yourself through that on some level. This was something I recognized in myself, and I think once I started pouring more attention towards it, I really started noticing a change in the way I approach similar experiences that may show up in my life. I can talk more about this later I'm sure it will come up in readings. I would like to do more reader-focused readings. Reader-focused, what? No, not focused on me. I meant viewer-focused. That's what I meant. Readings in the future. I think the time I took off from readings, it really kind of confirmed that for me, but it will take some time to kind of just make time for both kinds of readings, because I don't want to stop doing love readings either. I want to do both. So we'll see how that works out. But let's see if there's anything. Okay. All right. We're taking them all. So meditation allows you to enter the inner realm of soul. It's a spiritual communion with your true self and all creation. You may think that there are far more important issues to attend to at this time, but meditation would help you greatly. It could have a positive influence on every area of your life, including your career and relationships. I'm seeing moss, we're missing an S, but just, so that could be significant for some reason. Maybe someone has moss-colored eyes or moss-colored nails or clothes that are moss-colored. Maybe that's someone's favorite color. Anyway, we have stop focusing on the situation for a while and just bring your awareness within. Very similar messages. Close your eyes, relax and let go. Take a walk in the park or do whatever it takes to detach. A solution will soon become obvious and all will work out fine. We also have miss, like missing someone or missing something. You may have had a lot of emotional ups and downs lately as well, maybe regarding someone from your past and then this other person coming up. Oh, look at what this is. I didn't even realize. Old feelings are resurfacing, and again you find yourself on an emotional roller coaster. Don't fight it, instead allow these feelings to surface without judging them. They're neither good nor bad. They're simply a part of you. Own them, embrace them, and love them. Bless the past and be grateful for the deep and profound healing that is taking place. If you haven't met this person yet, for some of you, you may not have met this person even, and maybe this is what you needed to hear, and this is what you needed to know about what's coming after this period of healing and purging and releasing things that really are not serving you anymore at all. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile twos. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. I'm also seeing osmosis. But yes, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile, so if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes, and welcome. So I pre-shuffled for the first two piles, but then pile two's cards came out so matchy-matchy in color, I thought people are gonna say I did it on purpose. I've gotten comments like that before. No tarot reader has time for this, in case you were suspicious of that. But, so we don't handpick the cards specifically, but I wanted to also demonstrate that within this video, that I really do shuffle the cards to get them out. So these are the two that already came out. I had this idea in the middle of shuffling. Not so matchy-matchy so far, but let's see what the other cards that come out will be. Actually, I don't want to get this one right now. I want to get the main card first. We'll start with these oracle cards, and then we'll clarify with tarot, channeled messages, and advice. As always, this is already quite a heavy energy. It seems very, there we go. We have number 23, splitting apart. We also have number 13 here, which is immediately making me think of the death card. But let's see what else wants to come through. This shape, like this imagery in shape, is very similar to this one for me, and it feels like this connection may have gone through several phases of coming apart and then coming together. Definitely a very intense energy here. Definitely maybe more than one cycle that has already happened. But definitely, it doesn't feel like a connection that happened once and then you never thought of it again, or this person never thought of it again. It definitely feels like there's a lot of substance to this connection, a lot of things that happened, or just not a lot, but very intense things that happened. But I will get some more cards before I get into it more. I'm hearing it's coming to a point where I need you back in my life, and maybe this is the core of what this person is realizing. We have the sword. It's like judgment is coming up. There is a need to make some kind of decision or to take some kind of action to change the way things are, because this person's realizing that they're not happy with the way that things are. So wherever you might be in this connection, if you are in separation, or if you're like arguing with this person, it really doesn't feel like this connection is in a really good place. So if you're not having any issues or things are going like all great, this may not be your pile. We have the bridge. Yeah, reconciliation energy for me. I know that's not necessarily the meaning of this card in like the booklet, but it's really making me think of building a bridge between the two of you that may have burned down in the past, and there might be a lot of pain under it, like a lot of lava flowing under, but this person is willing to build a bridge on top of it. And maybe it's still dangerous to build this bridge because lava can just overflow and burn it down again, or it might be that while building it, one of you might fall down and get hurt. It just, I don't know why I'm speaking on such metaphorical terms, but maybe this is someone who is in their head quite a bit and they overcomplicate things a lot. We have the warrior coming out as well, which can have benefits, like kind of thinking a lot and having a lot of mind power, but I think in its shadow aspect, it can also bring in a lot of overthinking, a lot of anxiety, a lot of kind of just being stuck in your own head and not taking action towards anything and just staying where you are. But it does feel like this person has been growing, has been working consistently on making their life what they want it to be, on becoming who they want to be as well. They could have been traveling a lot. There seems to be a lot of movement in their energy. This doesn't have to be physical for every single one of you, but I do feel that this person's energy has gone through a lot of different cycles, a lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot of growth has happened. In this card, I'm seeing a horse. I'm seeing a horse, and it's someone riding a horse. So it's almost like someone coming in, like one of the knight cards in the tarot. With this warrior energy, this person is in a place where they are realizing that they need to fight to make things happen. Maybe fighting against the circumstances, but working with you. And maybe in the past, for some of you, this person could have been fighting against you, or you may have perceived them to be fighting against you in some way, even if they didn't feel like they were. They could have been very protective of their own self and their own emotions or their own space, or they could have closed themselves themselves off to you in some way. Because it's almost, I'm seeing like things being pulled apart and then coming back together and then pulled apart again and then coming back together. And it doesn't have to mean that you will forever be stuck in these cycles, but it does indicate that there has always been things that needed to be figured out or things that needed to be healed before this connection could fall into place together, or there was something that this person needed to become aware of, something they had to see that they have to heal before they're able to fully commit to someone. Because whatever happened here, it's not a lack of emotions, not on this person's end. I'm hearing barely on my mind. I will link it down below. Let's get tarot. I want to get into tarot already, and I'm feeling a little bit rushed in this reading. I'm talking faster than I normally would, and I also forgot to get cards from this deck, but I guess maybe we didn't need to in that case. So let me just put these away, and we will get into the tarot. This person, we have death as the bottom deck energy and the Ace of Wands. When I cut the deck in half, this person is realizing that it's time to take action. It's coming. There is a moment or window of opportunity that's coming that they need to pursue, that they need to follow, that they need to go for. All right. Oh, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I'm hearing, I didn't treat you right. I didn't do right by you. And we have the Queen of Cups in reverse coming out as well. We have the King of Cups in reverse coming out as well. And the cards are coming out very quickly as well. Like, something about time running out, or maybe some of you moved on and are in another relationship, or you're into someone else, or this person thinks that you are. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Things seem to have been stalling for so long. They seem to have been on pause in this connection for so long that there may have been other people in between on either side. You would know about this though. It doesn't feel like a secret or anything. It just feels, we have the Queen of Wands. These are all people. Very interesting. I'm hearing you're the one I want. We have the Seven of Swords. I heard I've let many versions of you get away from me. I don't know what that means. We have Strength in reverse. Again, for some of you, it might be that this person has met you at different time points or in different forms. Or maybe you change your appearance a lot, your hair color, your outfits, your style. Whatever it might be, we have the Page of Wands. Okay, this is an energy of I'm not ready, but if I don't have time, so if I need to do something, I need to do it now. That's what they're realizing. Look at this. The deck, I didn't cut it, but this kind of like, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords back to back, and we have the Hanged Man. So again, clarity that comes after a lot of deliberation, a lot of stopping, a lot of time. We have the Moon as well. Maybe they've been dreaming about you a lot. Maybe they've been getting a lot of synchronicities around this connection. It's like something is signaling at them to like go or to do something. And I think that's what they're realizing. The bottom deck energy is the Two of Cups. And we have the Nine of Wands. I'm tired of not being around you. I'm tired of not being around you the way that I want. I'm hearing, I need to speak to you personally. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Kind of like almost in a, I need to speak to the manager kind of tone. But then why are you afraid? We have the Devil. This person could have struggled with addiction or like kind of obsessive behaviors, obsessive patterns, in the sense of like just using a little bit of escapism as well, to be honest. Also with the Hanged Man coming up, like maybe this person drinks to put away their feelings for a little bit and feel a little bit of relief. Maybe they smoke, maybe they get high, maybe they go to the gym a lot. Like, patterns don't necessarily need to be related to substances or substance abuse. It can also just be always being at the gym, or it can also be like just obsessively going to I don't know, dance class all the time, so you're always too tired to really think about things. And I don't mean this in a negative way. Like, I don't mean this in a way where I'm accusing this person. I think it's very human to kind of just stick to habits that make us feel good and make us feel safe. And their fears, I think, always terrify this person. Sometimes it might be a little bit too much for them to be in their own head, to face all of their fears. I do feel that this person may come from a very heavy past that has maybe given them a lot of trauma, maybe past relationships, maybe from their parents as well. We have the Guru coming out as well. And right behind it, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. There seems to be a lot of, and this is, yeah, and that's the Emperor in reverse. This person just really needed some wins for them, for their own self, because there seems to be a lack of confidence overall, like almost like a lifelong lesson that they're learning, or a lifelong feeling that they've been battling with, insecurities, especially when it comes to relationships or partnerships or opening up to other people, especially when it comes to knowing their own worth, especially when it comes to allowing themselves to have fun. It feels like they punish themselves quite a bit through maybe their habits that are not making them feel really good, but they don't want to accept that. Or it could also be that they just have some self-destructive tendencies where they run from things that could have a lot of potential to support them, to encourage them, for them to be in a good environment, could have opportunities for them to be in a good environment. It feels like they push away things that might be good for them and kind of pursue things that may not be the best. And I'm not saying this in relation to you or this connection at all, because I think that's a whole other story. I think they recognize how good you've been to them, how drawn they are to you, no matter what could have happened, like what may have happened here between the two of you. They may have been emotionally unavailable at some point, and then you could have been emotionally unavailable due to the hurt that you felt from this connection. You may have closed your heart to this person, at least on a practical level, even if you were still thinking of them and sending them love. It feels like you've both led to a lot of change in each other, and some of this may have happened through causing each other pain. And there is a need to have more forgiveness between the two of you. And if you've forgiven them, maybe they haven't forgiven their own self, and maybe that's where the energy kind of gets blocked. And I know I'm jumping from thing to thing a lot, but a lot is coming through. Like, this person has just not said a thing for a long time, and now they're like, I'm running out of time, I have to say it all now. Like, now you have to just tell them. There's urgency. I don't even know what I'm saying at all. Like, if you asked me what I just have been talking about for the past, I don't know, 15 minutes, I can't tell you. Like, I don't know. It's just, it was a rush. It just kind of washed over me. So I hope it makes sense. But if it doesn't, just ask me in the comments and I will try my best to explain what I may have been trying to say. We have Aries energy, by the way. We have Leo, we have Cancer, Pisces. We also had the Hanged Man, so more Pisces, some general fire, general water, general earth. We have no air signs. Oh, we do, never mind. But we have the Seven of Swords, which for me is the air card that is kind of running away, that is getting away, that is not communicating, that is not about communicating, but it's more about just keeping things hidden, or thoughts, rather than actual communication, rather than something tangible. So I do feel that although this person has been thinking of you quite a bit, especially at night, because I do feel that they may have habits that have held them back from really, you know, being in their head too much. It's a very interesting energy. There's definitely an energy of feeling stuck, though. Like stuck. I feel stuck. Like things are out of my control, but that might also just be an illusion. Because there really is no optimal time. Sometimes you just have to make things happen, and I think that's what this person is coming to realize, is that they need to make things happen, otherwise they're gonna lose their opportunity. The window will be closed, it'll be gone. I cut the deck and we have I feel pressured, so we're just gonna take that. Bottom deck energy is also interesting, but we'll see if it comes out. Just take a sip of my coffee, because that was quite a lot to express. We have I don't know how to feel. I feel uncomfortable, because it's time to move out of their comfort zone, and I think they're feeling that shift. They're realizing that they're getting some kind of green light. We have I'm really confused. But are they really? Because it almost feels like they're confusing their own self by being in their head so much. You didn't deserve that. Yeah, that energy of not having done right by you. I've been thinking about you a lot lately. This one flew onto the floor. You have the most beautiful mind. I'm hiding behind a mask, and we have is it too late, and we also have I don't know how you feel about me. So some of you may have moved on from this person, and maybe this isn't even who you wanted to hear about anymore. And maybe that's why it's coming through in so much urgency, that this person still needs some kind of attention, or, you know, they're still kind of reaching out in some way, but they're not brave enough to actually do it in person or in a tangible way. Like they're hiding behind tarot readers. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this. They're hiding behind other people or other means of communicating, because they feel like they're not brave enough for it. But I mean, some of you, yeah, we have it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. That is their realization that it's time. But for some of you, that, I mean, it may not mean that they will take action for every single one of you, for every single situation. Because this is a general reading, I don't want to say something that's very, you know, like just very strong in claim. We have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer, and we have communication is key, new moon in Gemini. Yeah, because there seems to be a lot that kind of needs to be resolved, or at least on this person's end, things that may need to be discussed or cleared up. But they're coming to realize that they can't just expect you to read their mind or know that they're thinking about you just because you know them or knew them well. They have to actually say something. Because otherwise you can have an inkling, you can just be suspicious, you can kind of know, but you're not gonna actually know for sure. I use this for advice for the other groups, but I think the way it's coming out in this pile is more so related to this person's perspective and like where they might be at currently. That is a lot. What advice wants to come through for my beautiful... Oh, we have impermanence. Life is always changing and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. This is a beautiful message. I don't think it ever came out before. But I think it's a really good lens to kind of look at things through. We have options. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. You don't... If you feel stuck in this connection, just because you had a very strong connection with this person, just because you still have a very strong connection with them, if it's not bringing you comfort or peace, if it's feeling too overwhelming, too just in your intuition, if it just doesn't click for you, it's okay to let it go. It's okay to move on and focus on things that do make you happy, because if this person decides to come back around, then they will, and then you can decide what you want to do with the information that they're giving you. But you don't need to just always be looking out for them from afar, because I feel like a lot of you have been pouring a lot into this situation, maybe more than you have the resources to. Even if it's from afar, even if you haven't talked to this person in a while, you need to take care of yourself too, and your own happiness too, because you're not responsible for the way this person is experiencing their life. You're responsible for your own experience. And you can be there for them through their healing. You can support them. You can hold their hand, but you can't do the work for them. They have to decide themselves. They have to choose themselves. Just like how in this situation you have the option to choose if you want to focus on your own experience or on their experience. And I'm not saying this for every single one of you, because I think some of you have set like really good boundaries and have a really good understanding of this situation. But if this is kind of a newer thing, or like there was a recent separation and this person is just kind of in a chaotic energy where they haven't figured everything out and it's just confusing to be in their energy or to be around them, it might be a good idea to kind of just detach a little bit, take a step back, and then reconsider what you want to do in this situation. Of course, I'm not saying that you can't choose to be with this person or you can't do anything. That part is entirely up to you, but my advice would be to do what feels good to you, what feels right for yourself. Because I do think you might have a tendency to prioritize others all of the time over your own self. So prioritizing yourself might be a good thing right now, especially, and an important skill to learn. I also want to get you one of these heart-shaped cards. Ooh, for advice. So we have this one. Let's look at the image. I'm just showing these because, well, they're pretty, and also maybe there is a sign or something specific you relate to in the images. So, this card reflects protection, freedom, and success. It won't be quick or easy, but you will succeed and you are protected along the way. Free yourself of past doubt, fear, and guilt. Let go of fixed expectations, be flexible, adaptable, and open to new avenues and ideas. A higher power is trying to guide you. This, I think, sums up the message of the advice portion really well, what I was talking about as well. You are free. And if you feel stuck in a situation that isn't making you feel good, that isn't making you thrive, that is holding you back, it might be time to set yourself free as well. But you know best. So that's, yeah. This is all I have for you, my beautiful pile threes. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile fours, and welcome. So I'll be shuffling live. I didn't do this for pile 1 and 2, kind of did it for pile 3, and you get the full show. So yes, let's see. We'll start with some oracle cards to see what the person on your mind has realized, and then we'll clarify with tarot some channeled messages and advice. That is way too many. Okay, we have the Well, number 48. What has the person on pile 4's mind realized, please? Universe. Ooh, we have the box. This also came out for pile 1. Okay, we have the stone, and we also have the flame. Interesting. Interesting. This is someone who has noticed the depth of this connection and their feelings for you in the silence, in kind of their own soul. That's how it's coming through. But we will get some more information. Okay. Identity. This person has been growing and evolving and changing, and suddenly I'm so calm. In pile 3's reading, I was like rushing. Not because I wanted to like be done with it or anything, but because the energy was just really chaotic and running and rushing and just confusing. It was really up and down. It was really conflicting. But this energy, it's more decided. It's more calm. Bottom deck energy is number 33, Temperance. It's more mature. It's understanding. It's more relaxed. It's not running anywhere. We have hope. We have number 48 repeating. And then you do 8 plus 4, you get 12, and then 2 plus 1, you get 3, and we had Temperance, 33. And we do that twice, we have 33 from this as well. So that could be a significant number. But we also have 5 plus 9, so 14, and then 1 plus 4, so 5 again. And 5 is a number of change. This person on their own, I feel, has already changed quite a bit from either when you met them and you could still be with this person, but in like kind of like a tough spot, or the silence could also not mean that you're somewhere else, but it could just mean that They're peaceful with you. They're calm. They're comfortable. They feel safe. They don't want to run. They're just fine. Like they're finally somewhere that they don't want to run from, because essentially that's, I think, the realization that they came to. And if you are in separation, this doesn't mean that they don't want you in their life. It's more so an energy of wanting to keep this connection safe and keep their own self safe, but realizing that they are in a place where they feel safe and comfortable after running maybe from their own self or from connections for so long. It's just safety, it's just comfort, it's warmth. Even if you've just met this person, they feel so comfortable in your energy, so familiar with you already. But I could see this like also being a marriage that has been, you know, in your lives for years, or a partnership that's been there for a long time, but this person maybe was going through kind of a rough patch, and there were certain things they needed to realize about their own self. Maybe they went through some kind of transformation that changed the way they view the world or spirituality. If there was a separation here, I think this person has made peace with the way it may have happened. There's just a lot of peace coming from their energy, a lot of healed energy. And I don't know if this is mirrored between the two of you, but I do feel that there's a very deep spiritual connection here. Something that brought the two of you together, almost in a fated or magical way. Something that feels out of the ordinary, not something you would just have with anyone, something you wouldn't see every day. Almost like something out of the movies a little bit. That's the way I think they perceive this connection, and it could also be how you perceive it, and objectively how it is as well. If I'm being honest with this energy, there's something very reassuring about this energy. And maybe this is how you make them feel, or maybe this is just a combination of who they've become at this point in their life, and the way they feel around you and about you, and just everything clicking into place the way they should. This person is realizing that they feel okay. And maybe that seems like such a simple realization that it's not even worth doing a reading on. But I think somehow, whatever the circumstances may have been, it's a big thing for this person, that they feel okay. And they feel excited, hopeful, curious. Maybe these were things that they didn't feel before. This could be someone who struggled with mental health quite a bit. Maybe they have been getting therapy or getting support. Won't be the case for everyone, but it feels like there's a lot of road that's been traveled, a lot of progress that's been made, and I think there's almost a proud energy here. It's kind of like a celebration slash congratulations are in order kind of energy. But let's see what the tarot has to say. I wasn't expecting this kind of energy. It's so calm and peaceful, and a good way to like end this video, I think, for me at least. But okay, let's see what wants to come through. Okay. What has the person on pile 4's mind realized, please, universe? We have the Queen of Wands, the Six of Wands in reverse, The Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, a lot of stability, a lot of security, a lot of just, I am exactly where I need to be. For some of you, if you are in separation, there could be a reunion coming up. I did just see the Six of Cups, which makes me think of something from the past kind of reappearing. We have the Two of Wands. There's definitely excitement about the future and future possibilities. Maybe about what didn't work out in the past, because now they are a changed person. They're someone different. They've evolved in certain ways that make it easier for them to think about the future, easier for them to pursue the future, because I do feel that in the past there have been disappointments, at least in this person's own energy, if not within this connection. I am kind of getting the energy that this person may have hurt you in the past in a way that they kind of never forgave themselves for, but maybe they felt forgiveness from you in some way. For some of you, it's just an energy of feeling very understood by you, very seen, very heard, very recognized, very, very human. They may have been someone with a lot of perfectionist tendencies. For some of you, this person might be you, is one thing that's coming through. And if you are here on your own journey, this is such a beautiful place to be, because there's so much coming in, so much changing, so much growth, so much reason to celebrate. From this point on, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. There is forgiveness here for not being able to give as much in the past. There is understanding about the reasons why, and maybe there's this energy of understanding that they did the best with what they knew at the time, with what they could at the time. Just because they are able to do more right now, or now they feel like they should have done more, it doesn't mean that they didn't give it their best shot. So if there was a situation that didn't work out here because of them or because of you, if this is you, it feels like someone just allowing themselves to be without judging for mistakes or confusions or mix-ups or mess-ups or fuck-ups. It's just, there's a lot of acceptance, a lot of peace. I do feel that this might be you for some of you. So if you were drawn to another pile, there might be a message from someone else if this resonates as like you. This is someone who is realizing their own power, their own worth, their own role in writing their own story, kind of like a taking control kind of energy. We have Death in reverse, and we have the Moon in reverse. There is a, from this, I'm getting there's no need to show others that I've changed. As long as I know that I have, I don't need to prove it to anyone else, because the people that need to know already know, or they can already see it. Because sometimes, if this is about you especially, if you feel the need to just control other people's impression of you, or like you were very concerned with how they might see you, it's this realization that that doesn't essentially matter. That's not the main point. It's how you feel about yourself, the experiences that you're having. That's what matters the most. This is someone who is seeing their own worth. That's the energy. Kind of fighting fears, not allowing fears to dictate the decisions they make. Taking chances, thinking, what's the worst that could happen? I fail, and then what? What's so bad about that? I can always try again. Or I can always find another way, or I can always try something else that will maybe turn into something better. That's the energy I'm getting from this. So if this relates to the person on your mind, I mean, it could also just be a reflection of both of you. And right as I was saying that, we got this card. It's the Four of Pentacles in reverse. But besides the actual meaning of the card necessarily, look at this image, like, you know. So it could also refer to both of your energies, because there is a very deep, very spiritual, very kind of just strong connection here. A lot of emotions that run between the two of you, or like if this is just you, it could just be the self-love that you've kind of nurtured for your own self, the love that you're pouring into your own self. But if this is about someone else, it could be this person coming to the realization that you are one thing that makes them feel really good, and one person that really understands them, that's a match to their energy, that is just safe, encouraging, supportive, nurturing, beautiful. That's what I'm getting. That's the energy that this is giving me. And as for the signs, we have, what do we have? We have Scorpio, we have Leo now coming out. There's been a lot of healing, I think. And it feels like there's been a lot of focus on the self, but not in an unhealthy way where there's a lot of self-criticism or just like hiding out from everyone else in the world and self-isolation, which can also lead to a lot of spiraling and a lot of alienating yourself from the rest of the world. And then again, kind of certain thoughts may creep in when we isolate ourselves too much, where they're just like, they just keep us stuck, they pull us down, they confuse us, because our focus is so heavily on the self, on the inner world, that sometimes we create things that aren't even really there, if that makes sense, by focusing so much energy into it, which of course I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be on your own or to isolate from other people, but it's really about the balance of socializing with others, or like feeling connected to others in some way, and isolating yourself when you need to recharge, for example, if that's how you recharge. I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe if some of you have been feeling lonely because you need to heal from something, sometimes it's good to force yourself to be social, or like to just put yourself out there. Because even if it may not seem like a fun idea, sometimes it's surprisingly fun once you are out there, once you're doing it, once you're not worrying about the things you normally worry about, because you just don't have the space for that in that moment anymore, because you're focused on the fun thing. And humans are social animals. We're not, you know, otherwise we wouldn't have communities. We wouldn't depend on each other. We wouldn't have all these systems in place that, you know, like something bad happens, the ambulance comes and then takes you. There's a whole system, there's a whole bunch of people working there to help heal you. And I guess I'm bringing an ambulance up because my brain connects that to emotional healing, in the sense that sometimes it's good to let other people show you their expertise or share their experience with you in a way that might be enlightening for you as well. The healing is not only through self-isolation, it's not only through meditation or yoga, it's not only through journaling, it's not only through whatever it might be, but it's through a lot of things. It's through just living your life and getting new experiences that give you different perspectives, and you see something that was hurting you a lot from a whole new angle, or you understand that something that was hurting you a lot is not happening anymore. It is a thing of the past. It may have hurt a lot, but it can't hurt you anymore unless you allow it to, unless you allow it in, allow the thoughts in, the repetition in. And I know this is a lot easier said than done. But I don't know why this is coming through. We were supposed to be focusing on what the person on your mind has realized, but maybe this is a special pile where we get to focus on you. And I've been wanting to do that more on the channel. I mean, I haven't been posting for months, I know, but it's been on my mind a lot that I want to kind of shift the focus of this channel a little bit more. But I will, of course, still be doing love readings because I really enjoy doing them. We have the Queen of Cups that flew out. It's one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's just happy. It's just, I don't know, so many different bottles, so many different emotions there of all kinds. It's just everything. By the way, have you seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once? I'm sorry, I know this is completely unrelated, but if you feel stuck in your mind a lot, I think it might be a movie that could help you in some way. I think it has an interesting... it has some interesting ideas. That's all I wanted to say. But there is a lot of balance here. We have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. We have fire and water. It's balanced. It's balanced. There's no danger of catching fire and burning down, and there's no danger of drowning because they're always balancing each other out. And it feels like if you haven't gotten a chance to kind of slow down and just live life and you've been in your head too much, now might be a good time to allow yourself to just have fun, enjoy, and grow through those kinds of experiences. Because I feel like you've already gotten the opportunity to dive in quite deep into yourself. Or if I'm talking about another person, this could be that they had the opportunity to dive really deep, and now it's the time for them to allow other people into their life again. The Six of Cups again, a reunion could be happening, or maybe this is just your energy and a reunion is coming with someone you didn't expect to hear from again because this person has had the same parallel experience. As we have the Three of Cups as well. Both are reunion cards, celebration cards. They're very happy cards. And it makes me really happy that I feel very confident and strong and independent in this energy. I know I'm embodying whoever's energy this is. Not to say that I don't feel that way about myself, just because sometimes people read a little bit too much into the things I say in the comments. But it's just a huge shift from the previous pile. So I know it is this energy that's coming through because I'm in a very channel-y space today. Where I feel myself embodying the energy of the readings more than usual. Maybe because I'm fully recharged because I haven't been reading too much lately. But let's get you some channeled messages from the person on your mind, regardless of whether this is their energy or yours or both. If you have someone on your mind, which you probably do if you came to this reading, is this the end for us? I thought it was. It's almost like a conversation. I really care about you. We have, I feel pressured. If there is like a reunion, or if you are not in separation with this person, I don't know why I completely let go of that storyline. This was kind of overwhelming to channel, but in a good way, not in a bad way. Just kind of this calmness washed everything else away. But with I feel pressured, it's almost like, you know, that feeling that intuitive feeling when you know you need to do something, you need to take some kind of action, or you know something's coming. That's what this feels like to me. We also have I don't feel worthy, I'm not good enough, which I think is maybe more of a past energy for most of you than anything else. This may have been the energy this person was in and something they had to deal with and heal in their own self. We have it hurts me more than you know. If you are in separation or some kind of disagreement, I need to love myself more. This is kind of the underlying energy. I think it's more of a past energy, but for some of you, it could be more of a present energy as well. We have, I don't know how you feel about me. I don't want to get hurt. I want to see where this situation goes. And we also had, I want to go with the flow, that flipped. I heard because all roads lead me back to you anyway. Interesting. Let's get you some advice. All right. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but can you not ruin my spread, please? We have faith in your dreams. Believe in the impossible. Okay. I see. And bottom deck energy is you're very close to achieving your goal. I don't think I have to explain this energy. It seems very straightforward in the sense that I do feel you are manifesting a lot. Like your desires, if this is a person, if this is this person on your mind, you know? And I promise you these things happen. Like, I'm not just saying this to like get likes or something. I know this from personal experience. I can confirm this for you that if you feel it in your intuition, it's happening. It's already like been ordered. It's coming. All right, so wait, where are my, oh, there they are. Personal growth. I will take this one. I cut the deck and this is the first card that came out. As I move toward greater consciousness, I feel old thoughts and habits fall away. Like training wheels on a bike, they helped me get to where I am, but now that I can ride, I don't need those slow and crummy wheels, except when I'm making bike analogies. I'm also seeing self-love already, but I want to shuffle at least a little bit, you know? We have ideal partnership. I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I am paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free-flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. Mirroring. Oh my god, self-love came out again. I was just like, I just did this to the cards. So we'll take this. I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind. I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as the most committed partner I will ever have. I show myself love any way that I can, and when I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm gonna make myself sleep on the couch. Got that, self? And let's get you a card from these very easily shuffled deck of cards. As you can see, I am great at shuffling them. This is not the partnership one. I think this is something about partnerships, but this is not the partnership deck. I know there's another one that's about partnerships, but I didn't get that one on purpose because I thought this one was nicer. But let's see. Within each of us, there is yin and yang, feminine and masculine, passive and active. To have inner harmony, strive to balance all aspects of who you are. To align with your true nature, love, accept, and embrace yourself totally and completely. Well, okay, it's not a partnership one, but it kind of is because yin and yang, you know? It can also refer to inner yin and yang, but it can also refer to, you know, the sun and the moon, kind of partners, masculine and feminine, regardless of gender, of course. Passive and active, but yes, you get what I mean, I think. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile fours. This was unexpected, to say the least, but I am glad it turned out this way. If you felt drawn to another pile, there might be a message for you there, from someone else. I kind of feel like doing a pile 5, which I've never done before, but we'll see. But anyway, I am sending you all my love. Hope you have a great day, night, whatever you're doing, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile 5s, and welcome. I don't say that very often. I never really have a pile 5, I think. Maybe I did once, but anyway, doesn't really matter. Let's just get into your reading. We'll be starting with some oracle cards, and then we'll clarify with tarot, some advice, and channeled messages. And we'll be looking into what the person on your mind has realized. All right, we have number 27, nourishment, and we have number 20, overview. I think you're the only group to get 2 of these cards. Then we have this deck. I'm hearing a mixture of I found myself and I see myself. So maybe this person was blind to their actions in the past. And now they're kind of in a place where they are seeing the truth, the story of this connection for what it is. There's a slight undercurrent of them maybe making some mistakes in this connection, not treating you right, kind of, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but the energies in the past may have been a little bit mismatched. One side could have been giving a lot and the other side could have been almost sabotaging the connection. We have solitude coming up as well. You could be in separation with this person. It does feel like maybe some time has passed or there is some distance between the 2 of you currently, because it doesn't feel like this person is very close to this situation. We have law of harmony and purification, and we have the number 5, which is a number of change. And bottom deck energy is guilt. This person could have betrayed you in some way or wronged you in a way that may have made this connection fall apart. Or this doesn't have to be just one thing, but it could also just be their behavioral patterns. Maybe they weren't fully transparent with you about certain things. There could have been any kind of dishonesty involved, or for some of you, this could have been a ghosting situation as well, or just someone who was really hot and cold, and the dynamic seems to have been a little bit off, maybe a little bit more on the toxic side for some of you. And what this person has realized, or what they are realizing right now, depending on what's going on in your situation right now, is that they are responsible for what happened in this situation. For some of you, they could have seen themselves as the victim of this situation, like you did something wrong. They could have projected their own behaviors onto you in the sense that they could have been the one who messed up, but then they could have turned the story around and said, you messed up, like it was because you did this. Or they could have rationalized in a way where the blame fell onto you. For example, let's say this person lied to you about something when you placed your trust in them. And then they could have been like, no, but I had to lie because I didn't feel like you were open to hearing the truth, or it's because you were this way, or it was because you were that way. It could have been something like that for some of you, where they kind of just pinned the blame on you and always felt like they were right, even if this wasn't objectively the case. It feels like there's been a lot of thinking on this person's end, maybe forced thinking due to the circumstances they found themselves in. It doesn't feel like life has been really fun for them lately, regardless of what it may look like on the outside. I am seeing some kind of inner growth. I just heard bullshit. It might be that some of you feel that this person will never change. I think my objective opinion is that everyone has the capacity, the potential to change. It really just depends on what you choose to do with that possibility, what you choose to do with that potential. That's what it really depends on, whether you change or not, whether you transform your habits that may not be serving you. For some of you, I do feel that this person is going through some kind of deep transformation when it comes to the way they think, the way they may have acted out of their ego in the past. And when I say acting out of our ego, when I mention that, I'm often talking about things where we act in ways that kind of are just not really well thought out and may serve to defend and protect our sense of self, the way we see ourselves. And it could be that this person, because you have a mirror energy, in the sense that for some of you, this person could be like an engineer or an academics researcher. I don't know why that's coming through, but I had to just get that out of the way. But besides that, what was I talking about? Ego threats? Did I mention that? I was thinking of that. This person could have felt threatened in the sense that you could have been a mirror to them, and you could have shown them where they are wrong, or what habits are not working out for them, what behaviors are not serving them, why they may have acted in ways that were maybe selfish, maybe inconsiderate towards you. It feels like you really were just there as a mirror to them. That's not to say that was your like only purpose, or that's all you did, or anything of that sort, but I do feel that one big role you had in this connection was being a mirror to this person. Maybe you confronted them, maybe they could just see how they affected you, but they may have chosen in the past to kind of just turn around and not look at it, to not see it, to just ignore it because they could. But it feels like it's come to a point where they're having to deal with their own behaviors, their own self-sabotaging behaviors. They could have had issues with real intimacy. They could have abandonment issues that arise from childhood or from a past connection. It doesn't feel like for most of you that this person had it easy. It feels like they may have had a rough bringing up. And that's not to say this is an excuse to hurt anyone else. It's not to say that this was their excuse for hurting you. It's still not acceptable. But maybe it could provide an explanation as to why the way this person has treated you has nothing to do with you and everything to do with what they were dealing with on the inside, the pain or the burdens that they may have been carrying, the kind of thought patterns that they may have had that just made them want to protect their own self, even if that meant hurting other people or only considering their own self. And again, this is not to say that if this person has made you feel in a very negative way, if they've really hurt you, it's not to say that this is in any way excusable, but it's also not your responsibility to make sure that this person acts right and that they treat people well, because that is their responsibility. It's their responsibility to deal with their own trauma. That's not to say you can't hold this person's hand on their healing, or you can't kind of guide them in certain ways, but it's not your responsibility to carry. And I'm saying this because I do feel that you are a very nurturing person naturally, very giving, very generous, and this person may have treated you in the opposite way, and that is not how you deserve to be treated at all. And if you took that as a sign that that's what you're worth, that's how you deserve to be treated, I hope that is something that, I hope that's a thought that you have let go of, or that you are learning to let go of, because it is not true. Whatever this person said to you is just, or like, however they may have seemed to perceive you, if they placed a lot of guilt on you, blamed you a lot, I definitely feel that it says a lot more about them than you. But essentially, coming back to the main point of this reading, what this person has realized is that they were in the wrong. I heard too little, too late. There is a sense that this person has already kind of lost you and this connection. I normally started considering reversals in this deck, but it is a mess right now because I shuffled it wrong, so I'm just taking everything upright for this reading. There is, I'm getting a sense of this person having difficulty connecting with people on a very deep level, on a very authentic level. And I think this is because they're not authentic with their own self. If they're not authentic with their own self, how are they supposed to be that with other people, right? Because they don't even know who they really are. It feels like they could have been someone who wore a lot of masks, who really guarded their true personality. They could have kept secrets. They could have just been very secretive, very closed off, very hard to get close to. I do feel that it could have been easier for you to get close to this person because you were so welcoming, and this person, I feel, just maybe didn't know how to deal with that kind of energy. We have growth coming out as well. And I'm really drawn to how, like, the orange here kind of matches this, and then the green here matches this. I don't know what that means, or if it means anything at all, but let's get you some of these cards as well. Now I'm seeing two paths that kind of diverge, and I think this is because this group can be separated into two other groups at the very least, in the sense that I think for some of you, this person has been doing the inner work. They have been considering what they did wrong. They have been seeing the truth of the situation. But for others of you, this person could just be stuck in the same cycles where they are unable to see their own behaviors, where they keep blaming other people for what happened, or for what is happening in their life. It feels like for some of you, they're gonna maybe need a little bit more time to get to a point where they can see themselves from a little bit more of an objective lens. Because I do feel that this person may have been afraid to see their full, true, authentic self, because a part of them knew that they maybe wouldn't like what they would see if they looked closely enough. We have the Village coming out as well. This to me is giving me an energy of, bottom deck energy is the Venom, And then we have the desert. For some of you, this person might be feeling very alone. For both groups that I mentioned, I think this person has been going through a period where they are a little bit on their own, at least where they're lacking very deep connection with others. I do see for one group, the right side, that they are overcoming this, that they are learning to connect with people. Maybe they are getting I'm hearing mental health. There could have been some mental health issues that this person was dealing with, or that they are still dealing with. It feels like their life is on a little bit of a pause right now, because they're taking the time to see their own behaviors, their own patterns. But then the group on the left, while I still feel that their life is kind of paused, it feels like they're just stuck in the same cycle, and that's why it's paused. It's not like they're taking some time to reflect, but more so taking time to just repeat the same behaviors and looking the other way when it comes to a confrontation, or them really owning up to, or like taking responsibility for their actions. For some of you, this person might date a lot of people and like just kind of go through a lot of people. I don't know why it's coming through that way, but doesn't have to be the case for everyone. I think you would already know about this if that's the case. All right, now let's move on to the tarot. I'm just gonna, I'll take care of these later. Well, let's see what this person has realized, or what they're realizing. I'm hearing, I feel like a child. So again, brings me back to inner child wounds, and this person may be struggling with their sense of self, and struggling in their closest relationships, maybe with their parents or some kind of parent figure, maybe siblings, maybe just like friendships. That is way too many. It's like half the deck. I heard I had no choice. So for some of you, this person could, again, like be... Essentially what I'm getting is like similar to the message of hurt people hurt people. Hurt people don't have an excuse to hurt other people, but that could be how they, for some of you, rationalize their own behavior, is that they were hurt, so they hurt other people. It can be a reason, but it's not an excuse. It doesn't justify it. We have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Four of Swords, definitely some like a pause, withdrawal from maybe their usual responsibilities or their usual behaviors. But again, I do feel like there are two groups, and with the Two of Pentacles, this imagery, it's like some here are further along this journey, further along their inner journey, so they are a little bit more aware about their own behaviors, but for others it's still that this person might be a little bit more in the dark. We have the Six of Pentacles. Oh my god, that is like all the cards. We have the King of Pentacles that fell on my lap. I'm gonna take that one. I'm also going to take these three because they kind of separated from the rest, and we're putting these back, but we have the Nine of Swords at the top. And I also saw the Seven of Cups right under it. So for some of you, it's kind of like, I don't know why things are happening this way. I don't know why this is happening to me. I don't know why this always happens to me. For some of you, I think this person might be stuck in a loop like this, and it's not your responsibility to pull them out of it. It's really something that they need to come to terms with on their own, something they need to figure out on their own. And this could happen through their experiences with other people, or just like a moment of realization one day. We also have the Chariot, Cancer energy could be significant. We have the High Priestess. Yeah, I'm getting a very nurturing, very kind of intuitive, very watery energy for you, regardless of your placements. We have Cancer, Pisces with the High Priestess as well, by the way. But you seem to have had a big impact on this person for most of you, where this connection could have been like a moment of realization for them. If this person has kind of had the realization that they are responsible for how this situation may have gone down, if there was a breakup, a separation, a big argument, that they have a role in it too, and that they are not just someone who was wronged. I feel like they are realizing that they are not happy with themselves. This really doesn't feel like the energy of someone who's truly happy with their own self. I don't think this person really knows their own self really well either. But I think one chunk of this pile, this person is getting to know themselves and kind of giving themselves more direction in terms of the person they want to be, the qualities they want to embody, the way they want to interact with other people, because it does feel like there is something mismatched in this person's energy where they may always hold back. They may always have these kind of, they may put obstacles in the way of their relationships. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. I heard I need to learn to communicate better. It's almost like this person is more curious about their own self now. We have Strength, Leo energy could be significant. And we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. For me, I'm seeing this kind of divergent energy really clearly here, right here, in terms of how, yeah, and then we have the Moon in reverse as the bottom deck energy, which kind of completes the picture for me, where one side, one portion of this group, this person could be avoiding facing their true self, kind of just still lurking in the shadows, going around in the same circles, but not really seeing it because they are in the dark. And then there's this other portion of this group where they have taken the time, they have gone within, and they are understanding why they may have acted in the ways that they did. I don't think they're in a place where they've like fully transformed and they're a completely new person yet. I do think this is a big process, but they are making progress, and that's what matters the most. There's a lot of healing going on, and I don't mean healing from this connection itself necessarily, because I do think this person also got hurt in this connection, but it feels like they hurt themselves more so than you hurting them specifically, for most of you. But it feels like they're healing from their childhood, from their past experiences, from beliefs that they may have been holding on to very tightly for a long time that could have prevented them from connecting with people, connecting with others on a very deep, intimate, authentic level, comfortably. It feels like for most of you that you may have pulled your energy away from this person already, or you may be in no contact, or just kind of not on the best of terms. So let's get you some channeled messages. I'm scared. I tried to do the right thing. I feel like you don't accept me as I am. I think they don't accept themselves as they are. And again, that's projection. They feel it, but they tell themselves that it's you that feels it, even if you've like never said anything about it. And another meaning that this could have is that you may have told them this kind of behavior is not gonna fly. Like I'm not gonna take this. We have you haunt me. You don't listen to me. I don't feel heard. This is giving me blocked energy. Some of you may have blocked this person or muted them. Soft blocked. We have I feel pressured. Ooh. I'm a mess. Even the messages to me sound like they're half and half, like two different storylines. I have feelings for you that I can't explain. I value the memories we made, and this one also flipped out. I daydream about you. Now let's get you some advice. Ooh. A time to give rather than take. Conclusions are within reach. I think this, more so than advice, I think this happened for another pile. But more so than advice, this feels like what they might be going through right now. Bottom deck energy being nothing is yet set in stone, again, brings me back to that message of it is our own responsibility to do our healing, to recognize our own patterns, behaviors. It's not anyone else's responsibility to make us do it. So again, change and growth, it's a choice. Most times anyway. And I feel like this person could have been taking and taking and taking in the past, and now they're learning to kind of balance it out. We also have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. This feels like advice, and it feels like advice that if you feel somehow stuck in this connection, even if it is done and you don't want to be stuck in it, but you're here because you feel responsible in some way, like you should teach them a lesson, or if you are kind of keeping yourself in these repetitive thoughts about what happened in the past or reliving it, you should know that it's not happening anymore. I mean, if this connection has ended, the same experiences are not going to come back. They can't hurt you anymore. It just feels like an energy of detaching, regardless of what you want to happen in this connection. This feels like a time of detaching and pulling your energy to yourself, focusing on yourself and allowing yourself to heal, forgiving yourself for anything that comes through, really. I think often self-forgiveness is like outshined by forgiving others. But I don't know why this feels relevant, but maybe some of you blame your own self for putting yourself in this situation or not seeing this coming. Kind of like an I should have known energy. I shouldn't have let this happen. This was my fault kind of energy. And if you are having those thoughts, please know that it's not your fault that things happened the way that they did. You have to forgive yourself and allow yourself peace. Because peace is what you deserve. It's not chaos, overthinking, or anxiety, or just being haunted by... So I realized a little too late that it stopped recording while we were doing the advice. This is the second time this has happened, and it's because my phone doesn't have enough storage for this anymore. So I will figure that out, but for the time being, I will redo the advice part because I already shuffled everything back in and I don't remember what the advice initially was. So, okay. What advice does pile 5 need to hear, please, universe? What advice does pile 5 need to hear? We have courage. No one is fearless, no one. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. When fear shows up, I don't run away from it. I use my courage to conquer it. My courage allows me to walk right up to that fear and kick it in the nuts, then quickly hide behind someone bigger until it goes away. We have options. This also came out the first time I did this. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest, without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. Power. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I'm like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that is used for war. I'm like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. All right, now let's get you a heart-shaped advice card. Ooh, and I dropped them. All right. Okay. This is the image. An enchanted world is available to you if you want it. Just as the oak tree is hidden in its seed, the god-goddess is within you. Reason devoid of feeling is merely harsh judgment, so listen to your heart and move beyond the boundaries you've placed around yourself. It's time to step into your power and create a world of bliss. Power is really highlighted. It's a time of empowering yourself. No matter what your experience up till this point has been, you still deserve love. You still deserve to have compassion for yourself, to have respect for yourself, and to really put this into practice. It's important to set boundaries with others or situations that don't really support this in your life. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile fives. I hope this was helpful and that it resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I am sending you so much love and so much light. Take care and bye.